Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm here with my Sephora recommendations. Although I should not be recommending anything to you guys because we all have too much makeup and I should be recommending you guys do not shop the sale. But since we're here, so it starts, let me see when it starts. I'm thinking November 1st, it should be starting. And I was right. All right, so it started November 1st. Well, for Rouge. Rouge gets 20% off November 1st through the 11th. VIB and Insider starts from November 5th through the 11th. VIB get 15% off. Insider gets 10% off. The Sephora collection is 30% off. Now let me preface this video by saying you don't have to run out and buy everything that I'm recommending. Like I said, I should not be doing none of this. I am encouraging you guys to be naughty. Although you guys are already naughty by yourselves because somebody told me they already had $600 in their basket. I haven't put anything in there because at the last minute, if the Patrick Tar is there and the YSL is there, that's what I'm going to do. All right. Let's start off. I'm going to go like how I do my makeup. I recommend stuff. So for the eyes, you know, I'm not like huge into eye stuff. So I'm still on these two palettes and I'm still going to be recommending these two palettes if you don't have it already. Everybody needs a good matte eyeshadow palette. I don't care if you love shimmer, what you like. There's nothing like a good matte palette, and I recommend the Patrick Tar Major Dimensions 3 palette. Yes, it's lovely. Mine is a mess, but this palette is so good, and you get the two creams. I have been using the black liner. Sometimes even on my waterline, I'll use it. For me personally, this is the best matte palette I've ever used. I love it so much. It's $70, right? I think it's $70. I use it pretty much every day. I'm not using it today. Today, I actually am using my Natasha Denona Bronze palette. I pulled it out. Yeah, so this is, this is $70. And you get 12 shades. So I'm still recommending this if you need a good matte palette. Pick this up, and I don't know, there's something about a matte eye. To me, a matte eye is just so like that girl. I love a matte eye. And I'm still recommending the Danessa Myricks. I know she has one that has purpley plum tones in either of these two palettes. I'm still recommending. And why I can recommend these two palettes is because I use them the most and I can definitely vouch for them. Every time you go on the Sephora app now, there's like a representative asking you if you want, like, leave me alone. They just annoy me. And then if you actually ask them the question, they never know what it is. Yeah, so I'm still recommending this palette. I know she has a brand new palette out with a lot of colors. I knew I wasn't going to pick that up. Yeah, so this is a $65 palette, right? Yeah, it's a $65 palette, even cheaper than the Patrick Tar. It's beautiful. I have the first one, the Groundwork Neutrals. This is also a mess because I use this a lot. I love to pair it with my Patrick Tar palette. If you don't be intimidated, like I always said, if you have the right brush, you can definitely make this work. It's very different. It's very unusual. I think it's a great palette to have in your collection if you're into like nice browns and chocolatey tones. This is perfect. She has several videos up on her Instagram, like using it, how she uses it. It's phenomenal. It's beautiful. So I'm gonna stay recommending this palette, and I think in the sale now would be a very good time to grab both of them. Now, if you don't want to do a whole palette with all those shades, I will recommend the YSL Couture Clutch. And why I'm recommending it is because it's expensive and this would be a good time, especially for your Rouge to get 20% off. I think this is a $68 palette if I'm not mistaken. I have mine in 200. And this is why I'm very hopeful for the YSL blushes that are coming out, because this formula, I was very, very pleasantly surprised. It's rich, it's buttery, it's creamy, it's pigmented. You just put a little bit on your lid and boom, it blends itself. It's beautiful. Because somebody had asked me to recommend like a small palette that only had like 4 shadows where they can use every day and they don't waste like a whole palette, because like I said before, a lot of people do not use all the shades in those 12 pan palettes. I think this would be the perfect palette. It's beautiful. This one has some like pinkish hues. The mattes are gorgeous. The shimmers are stunning. They pop. Beautiful. They have like little crystals in them. Very blingy. Very nice for inner corner. For the lid. Very pretty. So if you don't want to do the whole palette, I would recommend one of these Couture Clutch from YSL. It has the nice little mirror. And I'm also looking, because I had purchased one before way back and one of the pans fell out on it. I couldn't find that palette, the one that only has like the browns. I'm actually thinking of getting that eventually. I don't know if in this sale, but eventually I want to get that. So if you don't want to do the whole pan, it's easy. You can put it in your purse, walk around with it. It's nice and travel friendly. I would recommend this. So those are the 3 palettes I would recommend for the eyes during the sale. All right, one more thing for the eyes before I move on to the face. And I never thought I would be recommending a mascara, but I am, because I wear, of course, now I'm doing do-it-yourself lashes, but I put it on the bottom. I recommend this Fenty Hella Thick Mascara, and here's the reason why. I put it on the bottom of my bottom lash every time I do my makeup. I've had this for so long, and it still has product in it. How is that possible? Because every mascara that I own, I don't know about you guys, it dries out. Oh, it dries. And sometimes I'll literally like put it under the water real quick, move it back, mix it up just to get. I've had this, I swear it has been over a year plus. I've had this Hella Thick mascara and there's still stuff in there. I take it out every day and I use it. My bottom line looks amazing. It just makes it look sort of full and fluffy. And even before I was doing the do-it-yourself lashes, of course, I was wearing strip lashes. I always use mascara before I put my strip lashes on. And it would just look so thick. And the type of mascaras I like are the ones that look a little messy, a little clumpy, little like black and thick. So this is it. This mascara is so good. And I still have it and I'm still using it. And every single time I wear makeup, which is like pretty much every day or every other day now, I use this Hella Thick mascara. I mean, this is nothing new. This has been out, but I'm literally putting this as a recommendation. If you guys are looking for a good mascara, especially people that don't wear lashes. I don't know who you are, girl. I think lashes put everything over the top. But anywho, if you have beautiful lashes, you just want them, you know, look a little thick, and it's called Hella Thick, I highly recommend this mascara, and it lasts forever, at least for me. I'm still using it and don't have to wet it, and I'm still getting product on it, on the brush. All right, let's move on to complexion, my favorite part. So I'm recommending this for everybody that has dry skin, especially now. Like, girl, the weather, because it's cold today. Like, this morning I was under, it was so delicious. My son is with his dad, so I slept in, I was under the covers. And my skin has been so dry already. And I think everybody needs some type of glow. You have to have like a glow, especially if you have dry skin in the winter. So I'm recommending the Dior, the Forever Star Glow. Oh my gosh. I have this in shade 6 and shade 7. I find I'm reaching more for the shade 6 now. I'm going to give it a little swatch here. I said I wasn't going to swatch, but what the hell. If I'm recommending, let me show you guys. This is what shade 6 look like. This is stunning and it's expensive. It's $55. So this would be a good time to grab it if you haven't. Look how gorgeous this is. And it gives coverage. It has more coverage than the Charlotte Tilbury, which I know most of you own. I would say it has a little bit more coverage even than the Juvia's Place. I mean, I know Juvia's Place is Ulta, but I think it still has a little bit more coverage than that. And it's much, much more blingy. Like, you can see the shine, but yet when you put it on your skin, you don't look greasy and oily. At least I haven't worn it by itself. Let me put that out. I've always worn it under my foundation. I haven't really put it over my foundation either. I'm wearing it today under my foundation. It's so beautiful. And as the day go by, especially if you have dry skin, it just, you get that glow from within. Your skin just look nice and dewy and healthy. Not so much dewy, it just has like a glow from within where it doesn't look dry at all. I highly, highly recommend you guys grab this. But what I would say, if you're going to grab it, try to get it something very similar to your actual skin. I like the bronziness of it, yes. And shade 7, I was way too dark for me since I've cleared up a lot of my hyperpigmentation, as you guys know. So I think maybe that's why I'm reaching more for shade 6. I do love shade 7 though, but shade 7, I'm thinking I'm going to mix it in with like a lighter foundation now. But if you haven't purchased this yet, grab it during the sale. All right, let's talk foundations. And there's so many foundations to talk about. And I know I'm not the only person doing recommendation videos, so I'm just going to put 2 out there, the 2 that I highly recommend and that I think you guys should get or that I've been loving. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to know what the 2 are. Starting with the Huda Beauty, the Easy Blur Foundation. This is $37. It's priced beautifully, I think. So this is like mid compared to how foundations are in like the mid-range. I'm obsessed with this foundation. I am wearing it today in this video. It's fantastic. I have the shade 440 G, which is cinnamon. Let me give you guys a quick swatch. I mean, I know you can see it on my face, but I just want to show you guys, especially if we're shade twins. It's a beautiful golden undertone. It's lovely. I love this foundation so, so much. I think it's her best foundation. She has a total of 29 shades. It has a it's lightweight. Like when you put it on, you'll think it's going to be heavy. It's not scented. It doesn't have any of that heavy perfume smell. It has like a very natural sort of finish. On me, it can look a little matte if I don't do a lot of like the Dior filter and stuff like that. And, you know, bronze up my skin with like a glow bronzer. If you have normal skin, I think this would be perfect for you. If you have oily skin, I think you would also love it. It's just a beautiful, beautiful foundation. I love the packaging. Very easy to carry. This is like my new travel foundation. Like if I go for the weekend or whatever, I recommend this so highly, guys. And of course, I have a review on it. I'm gonna put a link to that video right somewhere here up on the screen. Just in case you want to look at a refresher if you forgot, you know, how it wore, how it looked during the day when I did my review. It's just a fantastic foundation. And even if you have like a lot of, I don't know, foundations in your collection and you're looking to buy a new foundation, I highly recommend it. It's literally perfect. It's so good. All right. And the other foundation, of course, that I'm going to recommend is the Patrick Ta foundation. I have this in the shade, I think it's 20 Golden. I also did a review on this and I'm going to have it linked somewhere up in the screen as well. This one is a little bit more pricey. This one is $58. So I think this would be the perfect time to grab it. Before I removed most of my hyperpigmentation, this was looking extra light, but I think now it's looking closer to my skin tone. This shade 20 Golden, though, to me is not as golden as like say that one. I would like what I would like, but it still has, I think it's more golden neutral, but it's described as golden. This is what it looks like. You know, just a reminder. And sometimes when I look at it though, it looks like it has olive. And I try to tell myself, no, it doesn't have olive. Because I hate olive undertones like on my skin. And you get a total of 30 shades. This is just a fantastic foundation. It's nice and dewy and very hydrating. So I wore this yesterday and I just loved how my skin looked. It was so hydrating because yesterday was cool as well. And I think in the colder months, if you have dry skin, you are going to enjoy this foundation. It got a lot of mixed reviews, but I think a lot of people with oily skin, they were putting it on and then complaining. It clearly says it's dewy. So if you have oily, like really oily skin, I don't think this is for you. I think this is more normal to dry skin, but I highly recommend this, and of course the Huda Beauty. So those are my 2 recommendations for foundation. Now, same for concealer. I'm not gonna go crazy. You don't need to go running by all the concealers. But when I did my top 5 concealers, I noticed a lot of people hadn't tried the 2 that I'm gonna mention. So this is the 2. These are the 2 I'm going to recommend. The Nars Macao Lift and Flex. I think it's called the Lift and Flex Hydrating Concealer with hyaluronic acid. Oh my God, I speak about this so much, so you guys should not be surprised. I am recommending this concealer. It's fantastic. It's $30. Like I always said, I do not love the applicator. I have it in shade 14. I think it's a beautiful shade. It's so good. I also have, I think, shade 15 or 13 or something, but I haven't picked it up. Beautiful golden undertone. This is perfect. Butter. Melts into your skin. Very natural looking. Just beautiful. Hydrating. Very soft under skin. It makes your skin and under eye look really, really flawless. You know, and I think if you have older under eyes or aging under eyes, this would be perfect as well. It's not drying. It's just a lovely, lovely concealer. Because I notice a lot of people saying, oh yeah, I'm going to try the Nars Macao. I haven't tried it yet. I highly recommend it. Try it. The next one I'm going to recommend is the Natasha Denona, her High Glam Concealer. She has like 50 shades. I have this in P6. Very underrated. When I did my concealer video, this is another concealer a lot of people were saying they were going to try. Please try this concealer. It's very, very long wearing, and it's also very, very hydrating. I love it. I love the applicator. I find I like applicators like this. It has like that little sphere sort of look and has that like little hole. Because a lot of the concealer, I think, gets into that little hole. So like when you use it, you don't have to keep dipping. The concealer just comes out. And I don't think this end is going to pop off. I don't like the little square ends. This is P6. It's very brightening on my skin tone, and that's why I chose it. I love it for highlighting. A lot of the times I wear it with another concealer just to give that pop. I keep saying I'm going to find one that's like really close to my skin tone. I haven't as yet. It's a beautiful concealer. The formula, I recommend it. If you try it, you're going to see for yourself. There's something about it that's a little like different than a lot of the, I don't know, a lot of the, oh, I could have sworn I heard like a bang. A lot of the, whatchamacallit, a lot of the concealers that you've used, it's like a thick, creamy texture. I'm trying to look at what it says. So it definitely has a natural finish. It says medium coverage, but for me, it gives me like a full, creamy, just good coverage. I really want you guys to try this concealer because I want to hear what you guys think of it. Like, I mean, if you're in the market for a concealer or going forward, just give it a try. I think you guys would love it. I forgot one thing when I was talking about hydrating stuff. My Milk Primer, the Glow Primer that Milk came out with. I should have talked about it when I spoke about the Dior, especially for hydrating stuff. I love this. I love this so much. I'm wearing it a little bit today as well. What I like about it, it's like, okay, it's glow, yes, but it's sort of it's like a glow, but I don't want to say matte. It's like a soft matte. There's nothing like overly like shiny or anything, and it sits nice in your skin. It grabs the foundation. It does make it last. The foundation doesn't move. It's so beautiful. It's so good. Look at this. It has a beautiful sheen, and you guys have seen me put it on because I've put it on camera. So it doesn't look oily. That's it. It does not look oily at all. Like you put it on, you set it on your skin. You can see, of course, it's glowy, but it's like a soft matte sort of glow. So it's not anything overly. So even if you have oily skin, like really oily skin, you can put a little bit in like places like your high points, you know, I think it'll work for you. So I highly recommend this primer. I have been loving it. Wow, I've used a lot so far. I usually do 2 pumps. And of course, I do 2 pumps mostly because I have dry skin. If you don't, I think you can get away with 1 pump. And I'm not a huge primer person, but I love that. All right, so for cream, well, I have a cream bronzer and a liquid bronzer. I want to recommend the Mario bronzers. Now, everything else I think you guys already own or whatever. I did a full face of Makeup by Mario. I'm going to link that video as well. I recommend this so much, especially if you're a person of color with a deeper skin tone like mine, and you feel like you can't really try, these don't look like they would work for you. They do. So it's the Makeup by Mario, his, oh my God, my eyes. His Transforming Skin Perfector. I have it in Dark Deep. This is so lovely, guys. So lovely. I've spoken about it before. You guys know I love it. I love this so much. And it shows up nicely. It's like a proper bronzer on me. It's beautiful. It's not like, bam, it's going to have like a whole bunch of coverage, because it has more of like a sheen to it. It's so beautiful. It's like a nice, creamy, highlighting sort of bronzer, but it's not garish. It doesn't look greasy on your skin. Well, at least it doesn't look greasy on my dry skin. A lot of these products, I keep talking about skin type because I do have dry skin, and I'm a dry skin person recommending this to you guys. Give this a try. I don't think you will regret it. And I'm also going to recommend his liquid bronzer. I have this in Dark Deep, Deep Dark, right? Dark Deep. This is so good. It's so beautiful. I am wearing it today. This is the bronzer I'm wearing. It's so lovely. It has a pump, but I usually use the applicator. Love the undertone. It's like a rich brown. You can tell there's some red in there, but it's not overpowering. It's like a rich, chocolatey, nice, warm shade. I think the shade would be perfect for you if you're like around my skin tone or even deeper. It's lovely. What I love about it the most, it's not patchy, because liquid can get a little tricky, because most of the times we're putting it on right after a liquid or cream foundation, right? And so it can get patchy or move. No patchiness. You swipe it on, you take your brush, and you just go. You can even use a beauty blender with this. It's probably going to suck up some, and you blend this out, it just goes into your skin seamlessly. It's lovely. So I think this is the best liquid bronzer I've used. I used to love the one from Milk. They have a good one too, but I think this one is the best one that I have used. I highly recommend it. If you haven't given this a try, give it a try. This is definitely going to be a repurchase for me. I love it so, so much. Like, there's a lot of stuff from his brand that I'm loving. This is it. Pick this up in the sale. You're not going to regret it. All right, keeping with like the face and stuff. Now, I want to talk about the Makeup Forever palettes. Even the foundation and concealer palettes. I recently got the blush palette, right? These are pricey. These are like what? Like $90 now or $80. So I think this would be the perfect time to get them during the sale. Now, these can be a little intimidating, because that's what my friend said. She was like, until she watched my video, she wasn't going to get it, right? For me, they're not. And the formula on these are phenomenal. That's the word. Jesus Christ, I couldn't get it open. The blush palette. I highly recommend this palette. I love this so much. So on my cheek today, I mixed these two. This and this. Did I point to the pink one? No, not the pink. Was it this? Which one did I use? I know I used this. Was it either this or this or this? And I don't know which one it was on my cheek today. These are lovely. And especially if you have dry skin. The formula is fantastic. This too, you put it on your skin, it doesn't move anything. It doesn't move your makeup. It blends very nice. This palette though is extremely glowy. If you have oily skin, I don't know how oily skin people are in the colder months, but especially if you have dry skin, you would love this in the colder months. As you can see, very dewy, very beautiful. So I think this would be a good time to grab this palette. And I highly recommend as well the foundation and, you know, the blush palettes, you know, these palettes, the HD palette. There's a few. I have, oh my God, my son is making so much noise with that football. This is just one of the palettes. It usually has blushes. It has concealer, it has foundation, it has highlighter. These are fantastic. They're so good. If you have never tried this formula, please try it. This is why I love their foundation sticks. They're the best foundation sticks. To me, I like them more than my Tom Ford or any other foundation stick. The only thing that comes close to those sticks is the Fenty. All right, guys. So I was halfway through and I had to stop. I had a bit of a emergency. So obviously, as you can see, it's much later, but I want to finish this video, and I still have a few more things to recommend. I think when I stopped, I was talking about the Makeup Forever, the cream palettes. They're definitely worth it. All right, so keeping up with the face stuff, like the blush and the face stuff, I also recommend the Hourglass, the Ambient Lighting palette. This is the newest one. This is why I brought this one out. This is the one with the lotus. I'm enjoying it. I love it. I'm glad I got it. It was worth it. I definitely think now would be the perfect time to get it because obviously of the sale. It's $90, right? Yeah, I think this is $90, but it's beautiful. I love it so much. It's very pigmented, and the formula on these powders, if you've never owned it, if you've never owned any of the palettes, it's stunning, it's beautiful, it's Hourglass. It's well done. Just gorgeousness. So pretty, so beautiful. So if you've never tried one, I think now would definitely be the best time to try it because it's quite pricey, but you do get what, 6 pans, so it's not bad. I love the highlighter. Look at that. And I've been using it. Of course, I have so much cheek stuff, but I've been reaching for it, which I think it's like very important because if you buy these things and you just set it aside, like once you buy it, like you have to use it. So I highly recommend getting it now, especially if it's there. You're gonna save a lot of money. Well, not a lot of money. You're gonna save 20% off. All right, so let's continue now, and we're gonna jump into, no, one more cheek stuff. Wait a minute, I'm not done with the cheek stuff. I recommend one of the Patrick Ta's highlighter duos. I have it in the shade Honey. One of my subscribers just told me that she's been waiting for Honey to be restocked. It's out of stock. I'm hoping for the sale they restock it because I think if you're of a deeper skin tone, I think Honey would be best for you. It's stunning. I usually like to use mine with a sponge. I'm wearing a little bit of the cream over top of the cream blushes today. I didn't wear any powder blush today. So I usually, and what I love about these, like his blushes, which I need to revisit, I haven't worn them in a while. You can put it over powder. You could put the cream over powder. It doesn't get patchy, it doesn't lift it up or anything. So I usually like to go in with my sponge. I like to go in with the powder highlighter first and then just go along my cheek, and then I go in with the cream. Like I said, I'm wearing the cream today. It's so nice. It's so lovely. I don't have any more natural light because, like I said, it's been a few hours and now I'm continuing. It's just so gorgeous. I've been making up words. Gorginas. This is my word when something is extra. If you hear me say gorginas, it's not a real word. It's my word for when something is extra, extra nice and gorgeous. So this is very gorginas. And again, this is in the shade Honey. I recommend you picking up any duo according to your skin tone. But if you're of a deeper skin tone like me, go with Honey. Hopefully it restocks. Look how pretty it is. Lovely. I'm wearing some of it on my cheek today. All right. So Going into powders, let's start with powder bronzer. I'm recommending the Giorgio Armani. This is a $58 bronzer, so this will be a good time to get it. But then again, like let's take for example, right, before I get into this, 20% off if you're Rouge. Let's say you get stuff in your basket, it adds up to $500. 20% off, you save $100 since you spend $400. Then you have to pay tax, right? So it's like $4 something, and the tax could be a lot, depends on how much stuff you buy. Let's say $15, so $4.15, right? So it's like you're still spending $415, but yet it was a sale. That's the part. Like you're still spending a lot of money on stuff you don't need, because we don't need makeup. We need food and shelter and water. We don't need makeup, right? It's a lot. That's why trying not to go crazy in the sale. And I told myself I'm going to shop from the actual brands now, like everybody's been telling me, because I really want that Fenty body butter, whatever it is that she has. Everybody's talking about it. I'm probably going to get that. Depends on if the Patrick Ta and the YSL is in the sale. But I definitely want that body butter because I know she always have good sales. If she doesn't have a good sale or anything coming up soon, I'll get the body butter. But again, don't be like, oh my God, I have to get this because it's a sale. You're not saving that much. But I recommend this. Anyway, I have the deeper shade in 120. I do have 110 as well, which I haven't really been using because I'm not sure how to use it. It's not as dark as I thought. I thought it would have been a little darker. Anyway, that's a story for a different day. So this is what 120 looks like. It looks cool in the pan, but it's not as cool. It looks warmer when you swatch it, like on your skin. See? It's a little warmer. Get a better swatch. It's so nice. See? Nice, right? I hate when I don't have any natural light, but I wanted to finish this video today. So, how I like to use mine though, I like to put it full transparency as a topper. Because today I wore it with my, whoops. I wore my Gucci bronzer, and then I put this over top. See that? That glow. I also have it here because my skin has been so dry. I wanted like a lot of glow today. It looks really nice. It really does. This is perfection, and just for the packaging alone, definitely pick this up. All right, under eye powder. I'm gonna recommend the Charlotte Tilbury powder, but the brightening powder. I have it in Tan Deep, I think, which I think is shade 2. I like to use it also with the Charlotte Tilbury powder, but this is the one I want to recommend because, well, this wasn't recommended to me. Somebody mentioned it and I jumped on it like a fiend. I love it so much. And if you have a deeper skin tone, trust me, this can work for you. See that? Nice and brightening, and it snatches your under eye. It snatches everything. It's good. Everything looks flawless with this powder over top of it. As you guys know though, I like to do 2 powders now. I like to do a pressed powder and I like to do loose powder. And the powders I would recommend are the powders from one size. I have 4. I have Rich Peach, Ultra Pink, and Deep. I haven't worn it over the entire face. I keep saying I'm going to do it. I love them for under eye. I love them more than the Huda Beauty. These are matte for me on my dry skin, but to me it's not as matte as the Huda. To me the Huda is like matte. Like my eyes feel and look really dry. They're pretty, but they're like really matte. These are so good. My favorite right now is the Ultra Peach. Love putting it over top of any one of my Charlotte Tilbury powders. I'm wearing Ultra Peach today. I think it gives the most flawless under eye. You can never, I'm trying to pull back from the light. You can never go wrong with these. Look at it. It's so stunning. It's so beautiful. If you don't own these powders, I don't know, right? Pick it up. I'm in love with them. They're my new favorite. And also what I want to talk about this puff from Beauty Blender to apply it. I slept on it because I was always saying, oh, it's so bulky. And I was much preferring to apply powder, but you know, with my little puffs from Amazon. But girls, just using this, it just, when you use this to apply the powder, I think it makes the powder even more flawless. I've never seen something apply powder the way this does, the way it sets it on your skin, the way it blends it out. So it just makes the powder, to me, look even more phenomenal. Because before, like when I would put extra powder, I would always have to go in with my brush, which I haven't used in so long, my little powder brush for my under eye from Sonia G, and I would swipe it off. Now I go back in with this same sponge, and I just keep pressing it in, and it just goes into the skin. So if you don't own this little puff, and if you get it and it feels clumsy, trust me, it's worth it. Keep using it. And most of you probably don't have these long press-ons that I'm wearing. Just slip your hand in there, you'll see. It'll change how your application looks when you use this sponge. This is how good it is. So that's why I kept telling myself I have to recommend it. And this is the puff from Beauty Blender. And the last part I'm going to recommend is the Makeup by Mario. His Surreal Skin Setting Powder. I have it in the shade Medium Dark Honey. Love this. This is not as opaque. It's more translucent because it looks a little light for my skin tone in the pan, right? But because it's translucent, it works out just fine. I'm wearing it today. And of course, what I always say about this powder, every time I wear it, is that it doesn't look like I'm wearing powder. This is what I like about it because it's more of like a sheer hydrating sort of powder. I highly recommend it. I think it's a much better dupe for the one from Selena Gomez. I don't remember. Always an Optimist powder. I don't want to recommend too much, so I didn't bring that out. But if you haven't tried this powder yet, especially if you have mature skin, if you have dry skin, I think you're going to love this because there's nothing worse than having dry skin and looking powder, like powdery. And this never looks powdery. Even when you have like dry skin, it just creates more of like a veil and sets your makeup in place. It's stunning. A lot of his products are so good. I mean, I think he's killing it. So good. I don't really have anything for the lips to recommend because I'm always with my 1-2, a brown lip liner, and now I've just been using the nude lipstick from MAC, call it Cozy. So I don't really have any lip recommendations. So that's about it. I just wanted to do, you know, how you do your makeup. I didn't want to push too much stuff on you guys because you guys own most of the stuff and you don't need to be buying too much. Lastly, before I go, when you're going to do your shopping, if you can try to do it online, do not go into store. Once you go into store, this is when you get in trouble. I know from personal experience, listen to me when I tell you guys, do not go into store because you're going to double what you have in that basket if you go in store. So if you can, don't go titivating up and down Sephora and touching stuff and putting in your basket if you want to save money. Listen to me. I'm trying to get you guys to save money. Shop online. If it's not available online, it wasn't meant for you to have it. Do not go in store. Stay away from the store. Okay, and I hope you guys listen to me. All right, and when you guys start shopping, let me know what you got, what you like, or you can tell me what you're planning on getting, if you're planning on getting anything that I recommended. All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Sorry the last part is in a different lighting, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.